Welcome to the channel where we explore the weird, the mysterious, and the internet's strangest phenomena. Today's mystery is called the Doritos that everyone claims they remember. But there is no evidence that proves it. First of all, let me ask you this. Do these guys look familiar to you? Do you remember seeing this Doritos ad with flying pigs and explosions? Are you perhaps confusing this ad with another Doritos commercial where pigs also fly? But before we watch both, let's hear what the creator of the first one I mentioned has to say, because something isn't adding up. His name is Chris Grieder, and he recently posted this on his channel, Aspiring Alchemist.
This is insane. There's a crazy global phenomenon going on right now that I'm at the center of, and it's for sure the weirdest thing I've ever experienced in my life. But right now, a big portion of the general public are convinced that I created a famous classic Super Bowl commercial for Doritos. Please, if anybody has any record or archive or artifact of this thing airing somewhere, hit me up. I did create that commercial, but it wasn't seen by anybody. It never got any recognition. It wasn't even an official commercial for them. And it's still unfolding, but it's very interesting. So either A, it's some sort of weird, trippy mass psychosis, like Mandela Effect type thing, or maybe parallel realities, or if that's what's really happening, or B, what our logical mind would say, Doritos has been ripping me off for many years and I just somehow never knew, and I'm like one of the few people that just had no idea.
How can so many people claim they know this ad when the creator himself says it never even had that many views? What do you think is really happening? As he suggests, it could be something like the Mandela Effect, where large groups of people remember something that never actually happened, or evidence of a parallel world. Or, as he claims, maybe Doritos used his ad without him even knowing. So, what do you think is going on? Let's keep watching.
I don't know what's happening, it's still unfolding, but nobody can even find a record of this thing so far anywhere online except for my original upload. This was 12 years ago, by the way, on YouTube, which has like no engagement. I'm sure after this video it'll probably start getting a little bit more because people are going to be returning to it. So, okay, let's tell the story from the beginning. So my name's Chris Grieder and I have a background in directing music videos. For many, many years I was directing music videos. These last few years I've been doing TikTok and Instagram under the name Aspiring Alchemist because I've become really passionate about spirituality and metaphysics and positivity and all these things, but also just kind of exploring consciousness and like how the universe works. And that's why it's also really trippy that this is happening to me, because it's really related to a lot of the content I make under Aspiring Alchemist.
He points out that it's funny he's making this kind of content now, and had no idea this would happen. Could this really just be a coincidence?
So essentially what happened was a week ago, I opened up TikTok and there was a notification, which I get these all the time where there's like all these little monetization opportunities and I never engage with them. But one popped up that was from Doritos and it said, Doritos is splitting a $100,000 cash pool amongst all these creators to basically submit a video about something to do with Doritos, right? And I had a story about Doritos because 12 years before, I directed a Doritos commercial for a contest, for a Super Bowl contest, and it didn't get any recognition. And I was always like confused by that because I thought it was really good and I actually thought it was gonna win the contest. And it was like $1 million prize and I was like, oh yeah, for sure. So I saw this Doritos thing and I was like, oh, okay, I'll make a TikTok talking about that and show the ad because it never got any recognition and it'd be fun to reminisce on this. So I wanted to share it. So I made a TikTok and I posted it to Instagram Reels, basically just being like, hey guys, this thing, never won, it never placed, I didn't get paid, like it never got used, essentially. And I was just really proud of it and I felt like sharing it anyways. So I posted it, I showed the ad. Actually, let me show it to you right now. Here's the commercial.
So this commercial is 12 years old, and after recently seeing Doritos announce they would be giving away $100,000 to content creators making videos about Doritos, he remembered the ad he had made for the $1 million Super Bowl contest. But he never won, nor did he receive any recognition, which left him confused, because he thought it was a really good ad back then. Let's check out the commercial.
Are those Doritos?
Yeah.
Can I have one?
Yeah, right. That'll happen the day the pigs can shoot lasers out of their butts?
Uh-oh. Had to say butts.
In my opinion, the commercial is really good, and I can understand his frustration for not having received any recognition back then. Let's continue.
So I share the commercial and millions of views start coming in, tens of thousands of comments across platforms of people that are like, we've all seen this commercial. Like, they think I'm gaslighting them. They think I'm like lying for clout or like something. By the way, the annoying thing about whenever I uploaded that first TikTok where I was just sharing the video is because I did it through this weird little Doritos challenge thing inside of TikTok, it flagged it as promotional content. And then on top of that, I actually got rejected from it. It said my submission wasn't allowed, which I don't even understand why. I thought you're just supposed to make the video like with something to do with Doritos, you know? So it's weird. It says promotional content and the video's demonetized because I did it through that little portal or whatever, which is it's like adding insult to injury because now I think it's like at 4 million views or something and climbing. And then I did a follow-up video, by the way, after that, which is also going super viral. I'm going to include those videos in the description below if you guys want to go look and see both of those and just the endless comments of people who have this core memory of this thing. And I'm thinking, okay, something weird's going on here. I start Googling, flying pigs, Doritos, and then I realized that the year after my entry, one of the winners of the next year's contest was a commercial around flying pigs.
After reposting the ad, his stories went viral, with many people claiming they remember that commercial. He starts to get confused, with some saying he's gaslighting, and his video even got flagged as a promotional entry for the Doritos challenge on TikTok. He begins Googling, and discovers that the year after his submission, one of the next year's contest winners was a commercial about flying pigs. Let's take a look.
Can I have a Dorito?
Sure, when pigs fly.
So I'm like, oh, maybe people are just distorting their memory. And clearly, whoever that person was that made it probably saw mine in the contest, because the only time that anybody saw my ad, it was because it was in the contest, like on the website. So there was like thousands of submissions. So I'm sure some people saw it, but now I'm getting tens of thousands of comments across social media that are just saying like they know my ad very specifically. They said it's aired all over the world. But I can't find any record of this. We can't find any record of this on the internet. All that exists so far that I've found is my original upload from 12 years ago, which had 8,000 views. I'm sure it's going to start getting a little more now after this because people are going to return to it. Actually, here, let me share the details of that.
Even though the videos share the same theme, flying pigs, they are completely different, and in my opinion, it would be very hard for people to be confusing one ad for the other. On top of that, people are adamant that it was his ad they saw, and they are sure of it. Yet the only video he can find online is his original post, published on November 24th, 2013, which at the time had just over 8,000 views and a little more than 300 likes. The number of people now claiming to have seen that ad is far greater, something he still doesn't understand, with viewers from all over the world.
Those 8,000 views probably came from all those years ago whenever it was like on the website, just, all these filmmakers were watching all the entries and, seeing who they thought was the best. But, it never hit those hundreds of thousands or millions or whatever because it wasn't selected. It didn't even make it to the top in any way, right? So I don't know what to make of all this because some of these comments I'm getting, I'll just read some of them here. Bro, we have all literally seen this commercial. Reading the comments, I'm so confused. I know this aired. What the hell? I swear to God, I remember the guy spitting out his gum. I remember the guy not finishing his sentences when the pig with the wings show up. I even remember the guys covered in black dust and the other one finally getting the Dorito. I'm from Belize. I swear I saw this as like a Cartoon Network commercial. I've absolutely seen this. Either they stole from you or I'm from the timeline where you won. Yeah, something fishy is going on. I believe in the Mandela Effect, but nah, we're not gonna act like this didn't air. At Doritos, you need to do this guy right. He made you a commercial in the multiverse. I've been getting non-stop DMs as well. Without a doubt, 10 million %, they aired that in BC, Canada. Not a single doubt in my mind. I say, so crazy, I want to get to the bottom of this. I even sent it to my brother like, yo, do you remember this commercial? And all three said, yeah, it was hilarious. Dude, I just want to say I had 100% seen the pig video, left a comment on your most recent vid, but also would like to add that at the end of the commercial there's a horn honking. When I was a kid, I distinctly remember my mom coming into the living room and freaking out thinking it was hers out on the street. The TV was very loud because I'm partially deaf. So whatever Mandela Effect this is or parallel universe, I was there to see it on the big screen. God bless. Okay, so I watched your original video and thought, man, I've definitely seen this before. So I asked my buddy who's a big Doritos fan if he ever had seen this commercial. I didn't give him any context or show him any part of your video. I said, here, watch this. After he watched it, I said, have you seen this before? He's like, yeah, it was a Super Bowl commercial 10 years ago. So something is definitely going on with this commercial. Haha. We are in Canada, by the way. Lots of Canada, lots of Canadians, but also people from all over. Here's a weird one. Somebody left me this comment where they took an image from my commercial and they asked ChatGPT where it's from. It says, this image is a popular Doritos commercial that aired during the Super Bowl. And then it goes on to explain it all. But this is insane. But also what's weird is like people are getting all sorts of different results. This is why it's such a weird, bizarre thing. Like I reverse image searched it on Google earlier tonight and nothing came up. It was a bunch of other Doritos stuff, not even my original upload, which is sitting there on YouTube. It couldn't find it. And then I'm scrolling, it doesn't even have the image of my YouTube video, which is there. So another weird thing about this is like, with Mandela effects, for those who don't know what Mandela effects are, it's like where everybody, or like where a big portion of people remember something that just doesn't exist. But this is weird because my commercial does exist. It's sitting right there on YouTube. It's been there for 12 years. That's been my reality this whole time. In my reality, it's just been like, oh, you know, I tried this commercial, I tried to win that contest years ago and nobody noticed, and it's just been sitting on my website and it's been sitting on that old YouTube channel that I uploaded it to. So it's really strange because even like general search results aren't even bringing up that. There's like no record of this thing anywhere on the internet right now, as far as I'm concerned, or as far as I've found. I've seen this commercial before. I always used to say, you had to say butts to my brother. They didn't pay you or let you know they were showing it. I and my wife have seen the lasers, the parking lot, etc. Were too specific. Not gonna lie, I also usually only see Dorito ads during the Super Bowl, so I am also low-key convinced I saw it during one. This is insane. I watched the Super Bowl that year just out of curiosity. I'm like, what if for some reason it did show up, you know? Like, even though I wasn't a runner-up, I wasn't nothing, I wasn't a finalist, anything. Can anybody out there find something, find some record of this airing? And by the way, Doritos, reach out to me. I've been waiting, you know, I'm here waiting. This isn't a Mandela effect, this is a core memory. Don't do this to me. I'm from the UK and remember seeing that ad. They may not have placed you in the competition because they wanted to use it without having to pay you. I swear I saw this too. Australia, I remember his hat with the ear flaps. Nah, bro, I saw it too. This is scary. Yup, I'm freaked out. Also from Australia. This dude is just trying to shoot his shot with Doritos and somehow created a Mandela effect. I remember recording your commercial on my VHS tape. I told them, please find it, I will pay you for it. Haha, I need some evidence. Also, I don't think VHS would have been, it would have been like DVR. It was kind of this weird in-between stage where we were kind of phasing out VHS and like we had those satellite recordings and stuff. Here's another weird thing, by the way. Whenever I Googled Doritos Pigs Fly commercial, it's a bunch of the pigs fly, but it doesn't even have mine. It does have my TikTok from 3 days ago. And what's even weirder is the title says classic Doritos commercial that stands the test of time, but that's not my title. And I didn't type that anywhere in the post, so I don't know if like Google's AI just like comes up with its own thing based on what people are commenting, but I don't, that's weird. I'm assuming all those other titles are the official titles, but that is not my title for my TikTok video. Here's another person that sent me a screenshot where they asked AI by uploading an image from my commercial, and it says, the commercial you're looking for is titled When Pigs Fly. It was the winning entry for the 2015 Doritos Crash the Super Bowl contest. That's not true. That's the other one. But why is it recognizing that image, analyzing it, and then saying it's the other one? By the way, I know a lot of people just don't believe this. A lot of people think I'm just lying. They think I'm in cahoots with Doritos. They think this is some big marketing campaign. If it was, I would feel like my life makes more sense. Snooky says, I swear I saw this commercial already. Slim Jim says, I legit thought I'd seen this before too. I'm very confused now. To which I say, I have no idea what's happening. Maybe we should make it a Slim Jim commercial and give the middle finger to Doritos. I wasn't placed as any sort of winner, and until 2 days ago, I thought nobody in the world had ever saw it. I'm baffled. T-Mobile says, pretty sure we had a ringtone made from this sound. Probably just a joke. Doritos need to pay up or everybody's switching to great value nacho chips. Also, this is kind of freaking trippy too, is I saw somebody named Michael Grieder comment, and I've never seen the last name Grieder anywhere outside of me and my family, which I'm like, what is happening? Actually, I really like the comments of people who are like, hey, I have to tell you, I actually used to hate that commercial. Like, but I remember it. I can't stop thinking about this either. I remember hating this commercial because they played it so much and I always hated Doritos. Not only do I remember the commercial, but I remember your video being the winner because I was like, that wasn't even that good. Forgive me, I was a teenage girl at the time. Love it now. This is interesting. One of the winners from that year actually responded, honestly, my commercial finished 5th that year. We basically won back all the money that was spent making our commercial and I was heartbroken that we didn't win too. After watching yours, I immediately thought, wow, this one should have won. Not to toot my own horn, but I had that feeling too when I made it. I was like, it wasn't even like, oh my God, I'm gonna win the $1 million. It was like, I'm gonna win this thing. I just felt. We have no idea what this world is, but I for sure saw this commercial a few times. That's true. We really don't understand life. It is such a trip. People don't really understand Mandela effects. They don't know if it's actually parallel realities or distorted memories or like some sort of collective misunderstanding. But I don't know, maybe Doritos was just airing it all along and I somehow never knew, and my friends and stuff who knew me and knew my commercial never saw it and told me, and I don't know. Doritos played your commercial internationally and never paid you. I believe this. I grew up in the Caribbean and had a lot of commercials I remember as a kid weren't played in the States. This is 100% being one. I loved this commercial. It aired on Cartoon Network a lot. It's not the Mandela Effect. It's called Getting Ripped Off. At Doritos, the silence is loud. Where's your 1 million? Get paid. At Doritos, pay this guy. Please do the right thing. We will love you for fixing this. There's a huge opportunity here for Doritos to show heart and leadership. Bringing the original creator into the story would say more about their brand than any commercial ever could at Doritos. Thousands of people have tagged Doritos and Doritos has been silent. I want Doritos to make this right, to let me know what's going on, even if it results in us collaborating in some way or whatever, but the ball is in their court right now. By the way, I've been overwhelmed with all the support of people DMing me and trying to help me, and it's actually a really beautiful thing to see. People have been sending me voice notes and all sorts of updates trying to get to the bottom of this as well. I also had people tell me where they would show the video to somebody without explaining anything. They would just start it from the beginning where the guy walks up and says, "Are those Doritos? Can I have one?" And he goes, "Yeah, that'll happen the day that pigs can fly." And it starts showing the pigs, and people would pause it and then say to their friend or whatever and be like, "Do you know this commercial?" And they're like, "Yeah, I've seen this." And then they go, "What happens next?" And like a portion of these people are like, "I can't remember, something like with an explosion or something." What? How do they know this? By the way, anyone watching this, if you want to test that, I'd love to see if you want to like film a friend or somebody and just like, don't tell them anything about this. Don't tell them about the Mandela Effect thing, nothing. Just be like, "Hey, do you recognize this ad?" And if they say yes, just ask them if they know what's gonna unfold. That's kind of trippy. Again, where is this thing? Like, you would think if you can reverse image search it, it would show all the places in the internet that it exists. If this was such a big commercial and I had no idea, why didn't people re-upload it? Why hasn't it been repurposed all over the internet? Why do I have no clue about this? This is the weirdest thing. And it is strange because, yeah, my content is about mystical, magical aspects of our universe. And not only is my content about it, I'm about that. I'm all about exploring possibilities and being open to reality, being flexible and dreamlike. Another one of my followers on TikTok who's followed me for years reached out to me and said that when they first saw my video, they thought I was making some sort of metaphor or something about manifestation, because like my content is about that sort of stuff. And then as they watched it unfold for the following days and the follow-up videos and me being confused about all this, they reached out and they're like, "I realize you were 1000% like unaware that this was all over the air, but I want to tell you, I saw that commercial all the time." So it's just like, whoa, I created a famous ad and I have no idea. How did this happen? Anyways, this whole thing has been so interesting. In the first couple days, I was really processing, and I think on like the third night or something, out of nowhere, I didn't expect this, but I just had this weird like crying spell come over me, and I was like, just crying. It was like I felt like, you know, all of this success that I had wanted to do commercials and to, you know, touch the world with like funny commercials and stuff, like it actually happened, but I never experienced it. But overall, I believe this is a really beautiful, good thing for me. Like, I don't understand what's happening, but I feel that this is opening something up for me. I also want to give a huge thank you to all the people that have been DMing me, messaging me. I can't get back to everybody, obviously, but so much support and so much beautiful, loving support too, of people just like telling me how beautiful and inspiring and strange and weird this whole thing is. And yeah, I just can't thank you all enough. And I just, we'll see how this keeps playing out.
What's your opinion on this? Are all these people really confusing the ad? Even ChatGPT mixes it up with the one that won the following year. Something strange is definitely going on here. Don't you think? A case for "Can someone explain this?" If you want to check out the original video, the channel is Aspiring Alchemist. I'll leave the links to his YouTube, TikTok, and Instagram in the description. Make sure to follow him and subscribe to his accounts. And if you enjoyed this video, please give it a like and follow my channel. Thanks for watching.